Hey guys, what's up? I'm here to give you guys a recap on a new episode of ReZero Starting Life in Another World Season 2 on episode 30 or just episode 5 and the overall total number of episodes of ReZero Season 2, if anything. Well, anyways, this episode right here looks like to me that ending really kind of shocked me a bit when I had to look at that scene the second time and skim through the episode, and I'm thinking in my mind, oh my gosh, that really happened at that ending right there. Holy crikey, man. Anyways, this episode was actually pretty hectic. Well, not too hectic, but I guess it has its moments, and towards that ending, the ending just went like, wow, dude, what the hell just happened kind of thing. So if anything else, let's just get this started. We have to it that, Subaru will later on talk to the Witch Agreed or Echidna in other cases. While they do discuss about how they met the first time, they do talk about like Subaru's interaction with his past whatsoever. And this scene right here, Subaru does like thank Echidna that despite even though they're not really his parents, etc., even though it's all of a dream-headed illusion, he still thanks her for allowing him to at least like have a certain interaction and say whatever he needed to say, and be able to move on. Well, whatever the case may be, we have two that Subaru will later on wake up, and Amelia would wake up, but she will be traumatized or be in very great distress, like she's saying, oh no, it's not my fault kind of thing. I guess what she fought in her own past, it must have been very traumatizing to her, to a point that Ram, right? The pink-haired ogre, she will later on put Amelia to sleep with her own kind of magic and everything all together, and to see to it that she wouldn't have to suffer mentally in a very bad way. Anyways, we had to it that Garfield, Subaru, and Otto talk about what to do in the next kind of action right now. Otto suggests that they actually take some of the unconscious people that falls unconscious and take them out. That'll make it easy for them to escape. But we have to it that some weird pink-haired little character shows up and says, I highly recommend you don't do that, okay? Because even though they may leave and they may be unconscious, they won't be there. In other words, they'll be dead. She mentioned something about like once they fall unconscious, their soul literally goes out of their body or something. So in other cases, that they will be in somewhat of a coma, yet alive, but they won't be awake. So pretty much, in other words, without a lot of detail, unless you find a way to like break the seal on the sanctuary for everyone else to leave, you're gonna stay dead or something, quotation marks. But so pretty much that's not an option either. So pretty much the superhuman guys are not allowed to leave, and it's kind of like a thing right now. But we also have to it that Subaru gets some information from Ram, who tells Subaru there are some people who do not agree with the sanctuary being released, because they would rather have not a lot of interaction with the outside world, especially with what the hell is going on with a lot of chaos. Maybe the witch is called, or they just don't want no trouble at all, and they just find it more relaxing this way. Although Subaru may get the idea, he doesn't seem to agree with that fact. But Ramu tells Subaru what she heard or what she knows, etc., and warns him to look ahead of time, alright? And be careful and watch out, because Amelia might be a certain target that they might want to get rid of should she really be the one to break the barrier. And of course, Amelia goes through her trial again, but unfortunately for her, it's not really working out for her. I mean, we'll get to that just a moment, but Subaru and Garfield does have a little small talk with each other, and they end up talking about like, oh, why can't you take the trial? When Subaru asks, that kind of thing, and what's with you and Frederica, is this some kind of oath or something going on, Although Ram will later on warn Subaru, watch out for Frederica. I mean, we don't really know what she's really up to, etc., but it could be a lot of trouble. But aside from that, like, we have to it that eventually Subaru does talk to Roswell, and we get to know that Roswell will tell Subaru the truth of having to allow the witch's cult to be actually attacking the villagers and everything all together. So possibly Emilia might get some fame or recognition, a good recognition, if she made her move to like fight the witch's cult. Although Subaru says, "Yo, I don't understand why you did this and all that," and Roswaal says, "Well, I had faith in you that you'd be able to do it, you know." And that's a lot of like guts. That's a lot of guts right there, because like Subaru, I mean, the guy was a freaking crazy piece of filth. I mean, in the first season, let's not deny that. I mean, even so, like after going through so many situations and getting support from Remu, you know, the blue-haired ogre or blue-haired demon whatsoever, Subaru wouldn't be able to help Emilia as best he can if it wasn't for that. But, you know, Roswaal had total faith in Subaru, and that he's the one that actually helped him out when he allowed the witch's cult and do all these things together. So pretty much, even though Roswaal could have like fought the witch's cult, he knew Subaru would be the one to actually help Emilia out during that royal selection, and might give a better recognition of what the hell is going on, you know, or to have her have better recognition in the royal selection. But whatever the case may be, it's not really looking well put when Subaru like argues with Roswaal, and he was very close to snapping out, and Ram tells Subaru, "Calm the hell down. I understand how you feel. I even like had my issues with this when Roswaal did this as well, you know." And of course, when Subaru mentions Remu, she goes like, "What are you talking about? Who is that person? I never knew that person my entire life whatsoever, you know," and etc. Although like things kind of gotten a little like out of control for the time being, we have to it that Roswaal like knows Subaru, like, "I want you to keep this information between you and me. Otherwise, if Emilia found out about this, she wouldn't be so happy." And we all know how the results will be if she did find out, and it'll be all blown to hell, possibly. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, Roswaal, yeah, the guy was sneaky and all that, and tells Subaru everything about his plan about the witch's cult coming to the village, and let Emilia and Subaru himself try to handle it, because, you know, I planned this all so Emilia will get better recognition, to be well known, to get nominated for the royal selection whatsoever, you know. He did all this to help Emilia, but it was very risky, because Subaru, you know, the guy died multiple times, and if he didn't have that ability, which Roswaal may not know yet or something, Subaru would never have actually helped Emilia out and everything else altogether. But aside from that, Subaru decides to like keep it a secret between like Roswaal and himself, you know, because, you know, if Emilia found out, things could go bad and it could have a nasty impact on Emilia. But whatever the case may be, is what's done is done. There's nothing you can do about it, and right now they have to focus on the current situation, where the hell is going on. Subaru and Emilia have a little small talk with each other, and Subaru encourages, "Hey, don't give up. I have faith in you. I believe in you," kind of thing. "Just keep going at it, okay? Do your best." And Emilia's like, you're such an idiot, you know that? How can I say no when you ask me that politely with those puppy eyes?" I think in my mind, oh, shut it. But aside from that, we have to it that like Subaru and Otto, along with the other villagers that are not going to be affected by the barrier, they decide to make their leave and return back to the area that they call home, obviously. But we have to it, of course, the other supernatural creatures, they can't leave, obvious from the get-go. But we have to it that like that Subaru has an old charm whatsoever, like on his wrist, which Ramu actually says, "That's a nice charm you have there." But Ramu does tell Subaru Ferretica is Ferretica, you know. But I will tell you this: I'm here to like give you some words from like I'm here to give you some words, something that I think you should take into consideration from Roswaal, okay? And we have to it that that Ramu tells Subaru like I want you to tell this to Beatrice or Byakuo, like if your words having to face Ferretica, and turn to Beatrice-sama and say this: Roswaal said to ask the question. And I go, and Subaru's like, "What question?" And Ramu's like, "I don't know the details exactly, but when Beatrice-sama hears those words, everything will change. That's what Roswell-sama said. So Subaru will keep that in mind, etc. And, Emilia gives Subaru to like him, I'll see you later. May the blessings of the spirits be with you kind of thing. And Garfield and Subaru does have a little small talk with each other before they reach the barrier. And Garfield does give him like the stone whatsoever. But not to mention he asked Subaru knowing, hey, did you take the trial or something? And Subaru's like, yeah, I did. So what? Well, we have two of the Garfields like, maybe you could be the one to break the sanctuary barrier. But Subaru's like, no, it should be Emilia. Otherwise, everything else will not... If it's me, then everything may not be a good thing. It may not work out too well. But we have two of the Garfields like, do you think everyone wants to overcome their past eventually? I've seen Emilia like 1 or 2 times when she confronted her past. She's not even in good mental health, man. I mean, what Garfield's trying to tell Subaru is like, Emilia doesn't look like she's a girl that she wants to overcome her past traumas or past her, because of what happened, or maybe it's too much for her. Otherwise, she just can't do it. I mean, she retook the test maybe 2 times at most. I mean, the first time she freaked out and looks like she failed. The second time she did it, she didn't look like she's going too well at it. And Garfield says like, well, anyways, I'm gonna give you the stone right here, and he gives Subaru the same stone that he took off Emilia, that kind of thing. When Frederica gave that to Emilia and tells him, I can't give you my reason, but you better hurry up and come back here, okay? And we have to it that like that you better hurry up, because it's either me and the others that's gonna suffer, that's gonna be stuck around here, okay? That much I can really tell you, etc. if you don't come back. And we have to it that Subaru and the others return back to Roswell's mansion and the village, and Subaru decides to enter the mansion or Roswell and decide to take a look at things and realize there's a lot of doors open and goes like, hold up, what the heck is going on? And he realized, and knowing that something, and he was worried about Remu, and all of a sudden he ends up running, he ends up running really quick, but later on he ends up falling down and realizes he's in a pool of blood. Now, I will be honest with you, I thought that was just blood trails, but no, when I look at it the second time, dude, those are his freaking guts or bowls or intestines. Like, literally, those are his freaking yeah, what I'm saying to you is like really shocking, and those of you guys who are freaking readers or knowing this thing ahead of time, those are not his blood trails. That is actually his guts. The second time I decided to skim through it or look at it carefully, I'm like, oh my gosh, man, are you serious? This is really his guts that's been spilt out, and all of a sudden the woman appears above him and says, you did promise me, right, that we get to take a look at your balls, or your guts. And then we have to, Subaru ends up dying afterwards, obviously, because there's no way in hell that you could survive. There's no way in hell you could survive that kind of, And yeah, episode ends up with Subaru looking at a woman and ends up dying afterwards, obviously. So looks like to me we're going to get a reset checkpoint whatsoever, and then I don't know, and yeah. So, well, this episode gave out a lot of information of what's going on, I mean, the way how it went about, etc., along with like some information where Subaru thanks Echidna for their trial kind of thing, but of course, they try to think of a way to try to get everyone else to escape, but that won't work out thanks to the pink-haired short stack or something. Forgive me for being offensive on that. Forgive me. But, and then Ram ends up telling Subaru that a lot of people that rather not have the sanctuary barrier broken, and the talk between like Roswell and Subaru was actually very crazy and shocking, knowing that Roswell allowed this to happen so Emilia and Subaru could help each other out, and Emilia could get a lot of recognition to know that she's really worthy of the royal selection despite what she looks like, because of certain relations or because of this or that, that, if you guys get the idea. Forgive me for being a little confusing and not too detailed, but yeah. Then Emilia taking the trial the second time doesn't go out well. And Subaru and the others with the villagers decide to go back to their own to the home place whatsoever. Garfield himself, ends up talking to Subaru and says maybe you could break the barrier for us because Amelia doesn't look like the girl who wants to overcome her past this easily, And Subaru goes back home to Roswell's area with the villagers, but enters the mansion and gets his guts his guts spilled out because of that woman, etc. And Subaru dies. Like I said, that ending right there really shocked the heck out of me because I thought it was just a blood trail, but no, it's his freaking guts. I'm like, holy freaking heck, White Fox is really digging it hard, like going all out like this. Even though like it looked like it had to be censored a bit because for reasons alone, but still. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out. Bye bye. Toot toot.